What is going on, dreamers? We are checking out our friend Sunny V2 once again. This is the tragic tale of Jackie Chan's son. If you're enjoying the content so far, please leave a like on the video, comment what you would like to see next in the comment section down below, and then subscribe to Dreamers Entertainment for more content. Let's jump right into it.
Jackie Chan's
Jackie
only
Chan
son
is a
hasn't
household
had the
name,
easiest
man.
life. Between an unsuccessful film career and the time he spent in prison, JC Chan has been unable to live up to the high standards set by his father, and it all began with JC's luxury upbringing after his birth in 1982. At this point in time,
That's gotta be tough though. Like, you're living up to the Jackie Chan name. Like, you know how big Jackie Chan is? If you think of like any kung fu movie, him and Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris are like the pinnacle of their respective field. It's a hard name to live up to, man. It kind of sucks, but
Jackie
same
Chan was
time,
permanently busy with acting and would therefore
yeah,
spend only 2 weeks per year with his son, which was
per
quote,
year. Damn, and like it's gonna say it was in the house the whole time too. Like 2 weeks a year with your dad, dude.
contained in the household as they were too famous to go outside. His father's busy schedule meant that JC was raised almost entirely by his mother, who began to spoil him with luxuries afforded by Jackie Chan's fame and fortune. Jackie wrote in his memoir, when he was little,
That's like the tale of like everyone with like a really successful dad, or not, I shouldn't say everyone. Most people with a really successful dad. It's like that means that you're around your mom a lot more. You know, she's getting what's paid to her directly by her partner. So then you kind of adopt the same mentality of your mom, unless your dad is like taking you out and actively showing you how he operates, or like you have enough quality time with him to get instilled his drive and his ethics. Like it's gonna not, I don't want to say corrupt because it places blame on the moms, but it's gonna affect you a lot when like all
JC
you're
never had
learning
to
is
worry
how
about
to
having
use
enough
someone
food,
else's
how to pay
fame
his
to
school
get.
fees, or if he needed to be
Exactly.
driven anywhere. I would arrange it all. I regretted that later. No one should have such a good life from their birth.
Exactly.
Jackie Chan clearly believed this, as his upbringing was almost the opposite. Brought up in dirt poor conditions by refugee parents who couldn't even afford to pay for his birth, Jackie Chan was forced to develop discipline as well as an appreciation for scarcity. In addition to this, Jackie Chan's youth consisted of drama training all day long, from 5 AM to 11 PM with breaks for lunch and dinner. When he misbehaved, he was beaten with canes. When he fell ill, he was told to suck it up, which Jackie Chan has since highlighted as beneficial in comparison to his son's upbringing.
I really thank you, my teacher, that tortured me, becoming really, we never drop one rice on the table. Whenever I go back my home, I see my son's shoes, one like this, one like this. One socks, not the socks. No discipline.
JC's cushy childhood led Jackie
Yeah, I mean that's a classic tale of what happens when you're brought up like, you know, really well. Like you get this lackadaisical, laid back type personality. It's instilled in you, and you know some people are inherently lazy. Some people become that way, and I feel like Jackie Chan's son, it was inherent because of the fact that his father was so well off. It's like you have all the money. Your dad is a very powerful figure. So you kind of have this notion, even once you are able to adopt your own mentality, you get this notion like, no matter what happens, my dad's going to have my back, right? So you don't really go and try to get it yourself. You don't pursue it. You don't try to get that
Chan to
go-getter
write in his
motivation.
book.
Like,
When he
it's
was a
just not
teenager,
there.
I definitely didn't think JC was pushing himself hard enough. I'd work all day, go jogging at night, then get back and see that he'd gone to bed, even though it was only 9-something. I'd grumble, he's asleep already. I'd storm out in a bad mood and go jogging again, thinking when I was his age, I wished he could follow me around all day to see how much I did.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have 8 meetings in a row, right up until midnight, then I'll go home, do some exercise and read scripts. JC's clear lack of drive and ambition in comparison to his father led JC to drop out of college at the end of his first year, stating, "I wanted to be a musician. All you can see in Virginia is sheep," although other sources state that he was expelled from the school as a result of excessive drinking, unclean living conditions, and 2 semesters worth of unwarranted absences.
Jesus Christ. I mean, if that part's true, it's like, dude, this kid has got no motivation. I mean, even if he was raised by just his mom being an Asian person, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming she's Asian. I could be wrong there, and I apologize if I am, but if she is, she should have instilled some of those traditional Asian values in him. Like, you got to be prompt, you got to be on time, you got to be on top of your ish at school. Like, none of that, none of this at school, bro. I mean, that's not what I know from Asian
JC's
culture at
desire
all.
to become a musician was against the will of Jackie, who had not wished to see their son in show business. He wanted JC to be a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor, as JC's mother had, quote, already lost her husband to this profession.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, that's the most Asian shit I've heard in my life. You be doctor. I'm sorry, that was racist, but you gotta be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer.
Despite the
bro.
wishes of his parents, JC moved from Los Angeles to Hong Kong in 2004, where he planned on cultivating his own successful story in music, stating, "It is my hope to become famous based on my own abilities, rather than rely on my image." JC was so confident in moving
I
to
feel like
China
that's
that he
like also a part of the tale of like having like a super wealthy or super famous dad. It's like you always have that in your head, like I don't want him to be the reason that I'm famous. Like once you hit those teenage years, it's
gave
like,
up his
I don't
American
want my dad's
nationality in
fame to be
exchange for
why I get
Chinese
famous.
nationality. However, it's possible that
Look at Bronny James. He just play into it, bro. I mean, he has his little video game thing on the side, but at the same time, it's like, yo, bro, that's my dad is LeBron James. I'm not gonna go and like freaking be like, nope, I don't want anything to do with basketball. I'm gonna be a soccer player. I got nah, bro. You're gonna go and do basketball because that's what your entire family is known for, bro. Your
his
dad's
choice came into
LeBron.
question after he'd released his first album. Described in reviews as being a horrid absolute waste of money, the album simply titled JC was a commercial failure. The reason for this, as described by JC
Jesus
himself,
Christ.
was because Hong Kong is different from other places. You need to do music and movies, leading JC to appear in his first film titled The Twins Effect 2, which received an IMDb rating
Jesus
of less than 5
Christ,
out of
bro.
10 stars.
The
And while it'd be
entire-
ridiculous to
The entire entertainment industry just ain't for you, my guy. Maybe the
expect an
engineering
Avengers
was a
level
good idea.
performance from JC's first on-screen appearance, the movies which followed weren't that much better. He'd appear alongside his father for Jackie Chan's 100th movie titled 1911 Revolution, yet the collaboration resulted in Jackie Chan's least financially successful and least positively received picture to date, grossing only $127,000 before receiving a score of 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. 1 year later, JC would play the main
8%, Jesus
character in a
Christ.
movie called Double Trouble, which also entered media headlines after grossing an even more pitiful $9,000 during its first 2 weeks, making it one of the biggest box office flops in history. To add insult to injury, JC would then play the main role in a movie called Whoever, which, despite a government mandate forcing it to be played in half of the country's cinemas, failed to crack the Chinese top 10 and
Yo, the government said you had to watch it, and it still didn't make top 10.
has received only 15 ratings on
Hey,
IMDb since its
yo.
release in 2012. The only positive news for JC seemed to have been coming from his music career, as his second studio album would top Taiwanese charts in 2010, although it seems the album hasn't achieved much long-term success, as there's not even a single online review for the music, and it took about 30 minutes of digging just to find the track list. The performance of the album was unimportant anyway, because on the 14th of August 2014, JC would find himself in a profound new media scandal, making every prior controversy seem insignificant. Police would upload footage of JC Chan being arrested at his parents' $10 million luxury Beijing apartment, during which he'd admit to having approximately 100 grams of weed in his cupboard. This was extra bad for the Chan family's reputation, as Jackie Chan had been China's official anti-drug ambassador since 2009. For this reason, Jackie Chan would take to social media to apologize, writing, "For my son JC to get into such trouble, I'm very angry and astonished. As a public figure, I'm ashamed. As a father, I'm heartbroken. I can't begin to describe his mother's pain. I failed to be a good father and I deserve the blame. I will take the responsibility and apologize to the public on behalf of JC."
Nah, man, I don't think that's Jackie's fault. Like, I was able to hide that I was smoking from my parents for a while, living in their household. Like, it's not that difficult. Trust me, it's not that difficult. I would imagine it's much more difficult when your parents don't do it at all, because like my dad smoked weed, so it was really easy to, like, if I came in and there was like a smell of weed, I'd just be like, it's my dad. But yeah, I don't. That's not your fault at all, Jackie. I don't blame Jackie Chan for that at all. Well, I mean, obviously he's a public figure.
In the
but I don't
process,
think he
Jackie
should.
practically disowned his son, stating that he hadn't and didn't plan on using any of his connections to lessen JC's sentence. I have not visited him even till now. I did not even use any connections to call anyone. If JC only went in jail for 1 week or 10 days, how would the public look at us? We are public figures, and all the more we have to abide by the laws, which was accompanied by Jackie Chan somewhat hilariously telling JC's lawyer to slap him twice for me. While Jackie
Alright, but not visiting him though is kinda, I mean, I know that he's like messed up and stuff, but he's gonna kind of grow a resentment. Like, my dad didn't even take the time to, no matter what, like, you do what you can for your kids.
Chan
right?
wanted
Like,
absolutely nothing to do with JC. The Chinese government took the opposite approach,
Jesus.
making a public anti-drug example out of JC by televising the trial, which would happen approximately 4 months after his arrest. JC was sentenced to 6 months in prison and was ordered to pay a $320 fine for possession as well as the crime of sheltering others to take drugs. JC took this sentence humbly, stating, "I have broken the law and should be punished. When I return to society, I will not repeat this because I have let my family and friends down yet again, although this wasn't enough to satisfy his parents, who didn't even attend the trial." Whilst in prison, JC would send letters to his mother in which he explained that he experimented with drugs because of the bad crowd he was mixing with, and started relying on drugs to soothe himself whenever he felt upset. JC also wrote about the struggles he faced growing up in a
bro,
famous...
didn't they say 100 grams though, bro? I mean, that's a lot of weed, bro.
family, and revealed that the expectations of fame placed a lot of pressure on him. He then expressed his unhappiness with Jackie for not showing him enough concern. However, his father wasn't rushing to offer any kind of sympathy. Jackie Chan would state in an interview, "I hope to be an anti-drug ambassador for life. I even hope that after JC is out, he can be an anti-drug ambassador too, telling everyone to stay away from drugs," which was followed by Jackie stating publicly that he supports the death penalty for certain serious offenses. Additionally, Jackie Chan would announce that he
Hey, bro, what do you? I mean, I don't like just how that was stitched together. I doubt he was insinuating that he was okay with them killing his son if, like, that's wild.
would donate the entirety of his reported $350 million net worth to charity and not pass it on to his son JC, adding, "If he is capable, he can make his own money. If he is not, then he will just be wasting my money." The problem is JC's earning capacity has been stifled pretty severely as a result of the public sentencing. For example, in the 3 years prior to his arrest, JC acted in 10 different movies. However, since his imprisonment almost 10 years ago, he's appeared in only 3 films, one of which he wasn't even credited for as a result of the scandal. JC also lost endorsements from Adidas, Nivea, Yishion, Johnson & Johnson contact lenses, Stride Gum, KFC, and Chevrolet, with this rock bottom causing him to return to America.
Stride Gum?
Even though he was no longer a citizen there. The father and son still share a residence in Hong Kong, though they don't spend much time together. As an actor, a businessman, and his city's unofficial goodwill ambassador at large, Jackie Chan has a busy schedule. The two seem to have reconciled since JC moved back to the USA, yet JC continues to differ himself, stating, "I don't want to always follow my dad's footsteps. I want to be different," adding that he's tired of being a person in his father's shadow. Since moving back to the US, JC has made efforts to turn his life around, directing his first film in 2021 titled Goodnight Beijing, and according to IMDb, he has another 2 movies on the way. Jackie Chan.
Jesus, man. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking. You always want to see when there's like a really successful dad that he's able to pass on things to his son, and then they're able to become really successful out of it. But it seems to be the case that more often than not, as a kid, it's better to experience. I wouldn't say better, but experiencing that struggle is what allows you to like differentiate yourself from the struggle. Whereas if you're given the privilege and you're over pampered by your successful parents, then it leads to like some sort of corruption of the brain and the willingness to go and get your own success. But that was the tragic tale of Jackie Chan's son by Sunny V2. If you enjoy these reactions to Sunny's content, please let me know by leaving a like on the video, commenting down below if you enjoy it, and also what you'd like to see next, and subscribing to Dreamers Entertainment for more content. Until next time, and until the next video, Dreamers,